Wow, that's a mouthful. Let me think about it for a second. So I guess where I would go with that is, blockchain scalability will just improve the speed of transactions, among other things. And it's just going to help with cryptocurrency becoming more mass adopted quicker. When it comes to investing, it doesn't really change how I invest. It doesn't change, how in the bull run method, how we invest. We invest the same way. Obviously, we'd be keeping an eye out for, layer ones and layer twos that are making, a big progress. Like for instance, Base is a new chain. Base is, it's a really strong chain. Solana's a great chain too, but it's not new. So, understanding, what layer ones are going to do well, are going to become adopted, does help us with our investing in terms of selecting, what we want to invest in. However, it's not a one-to-one impact. Just understanding, when they come up with new blockchain technology that's better, how's that going to be accepted by the world, and is that a place we want to invest in short term or not? Remember, bull run investing is very short term. It's for the bull run, and the bull run's coming and should be over by the end of Q1 2025. So we're looking at the next 9 months, 10 months total, right, or less. So when it comes to blockchain technology innovation, it's fantastic, but it's not really going to impact the way that we invest. Oh, I certainly can. I'm going to give you 3 letters: DCA, dollar cost average. This is the biggest tip I can tell you to navigate the volatility of cryptocurrency. When investing in crypto, the way that we invest in the bull run method, and we're not talking about like day trading and leverage trading. I told you that already. It's just not sort of, that doesn't really appeal to me or the people I work with. But the way you negate the volatility, the way you don't get caught, is you got to understand, 2 things. You're never ever going to time the bottom. You're never ever going to time the top. So you're never going to be able to buy the very bottom of a dip or sell the top. It's just impossible. So we use a technique called dollar cost average, and dollar cost average allows us to buy dips, to buy FUD, to buy pullbacks, and to average in slowly over time, which really is going to protect us against the volatility in crypto. And actually it works in our favor. It doesn't work against us. The more volatile crypto is, the more buying opportunities it presents. And when you buy slowly over time and you average your entries over time, you're protected from the volatility. You actually benefit from it. And then when the bull run happens, you got a better entry, which means as it goes up, you get more X's. I explain all this, but do your best to try to understand that. And it's definitely, the way that we invest is to protect ourselves against the volatility by using it to our advantage. That's a doozy. Initially when I was getting into crypto, I spent a lot of time, doing something that's called tokenomics. When you're assessing a crypto project, you'll look at a number of factors, based on, you'll read the white paper, you'll look at the founders, the team that are creating it, you look at, the usability, you look at, how's the world responding to it, do they have a big social media following, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a number of variables you can use to assess a coin or token. As, my career in crypto progressed, I got to learn a little bit better about how to choose what to invest in. And this comes from using tokenomics, like I mentioned earlier, to understand, the core of a project, but it also comes from learning and understanding the roles of KOLs and influencers in crypto and how they can affect the market, as well as getting to know people, on the inside of crypto, and understanding that the closer you are in the know, when you're talking to people who know, people in the projects or people on the development team, that really gives you a much better view of the coin or project. So when you're trying to figure out what to invest in crypto, it can be daunting. There's, it feels like an infinite number of coins and tokens to invest in. It is overwhelming, and we're not talking, there's 13, there's some, I remember on CoinGecko, so like 13,000 pages of 100 of each page it's ridiculous. I don't really know the total number, but it's incredible. The reason I created the crypto investing program is to help people understand that it is almost impossible to do it on your own. And when you have someone like me who's done all the hard work, created the short curated list of what to invest in, specifically what to buy, and even hold your hand about when to buy it and how to buy it, just makes life easier. You can get into narratives in crypto, and I can get into that. And I've gotten into that in a lot of different videos, and I don't want to go into that in today's, not specifically right now. I'm sure one of the other questions we'll get into it, but narratives are very powerful in crypto, and understanding narratives and what coins or tokens or what projects within the narrative to buy, is very powerful. Like I said, you can figure it out on your own. It's just going to take a lot of time, but one of the things I enjoy doing is sharing with people, all my research and all my picks, just so they can do well. Basically, I just want people to do well, and I'm doing well, and I'm very fortunate and grateful for it, and I just want to share my success with my clients. Yeah, I covered this one. I mean, there's many categories, but for me, the two most exciting narratives in crypto are gaming and AI. I actually believe AI has already provided a tremendous amount of returns for people. I think with NVIDIA performing the stock market the way that it did, and the AI pump that's been going on, I think it's really provided a tremendous amount of X's and returns for people. I believe it still has more in the tank, and it'll still do well for those that are still coming up to invest in it. However, for those that haven't invested, there's no better narrative in a Web3 than gaming right now. There's no better narrative in crypto than gaming right now, and I've already talked about it, but gaming is in a lull right now, and it's providing incredible buying opportunities for the people I work with to get in at these entries that are just almost pre-fall entries that are going to provide massive returns, especially when you know what projects to invest in. And there's so many to invest in, but I've already curated the top tokens to invest in that category, and it has me absolutely pumped. I'm really, as they say in crypto, I'm really bullish on the gaming narrative, and that's got me super excited. There are a tremendous amount of obstacles and challenges when starting off in crypto, and there's just so many factors working against someone new to crypto. Number one is believability. It's like, is this thing even real? It's abstract. Number two is comprehension. It's like, how do I even understand what crypto is? It makes no sense. Everywhere you go online trying to understand it, there's just an overwhelming amount of information. Getting crippled by just way too much information, not being able to understand what crypto is, even being able to understand what crypto investing is. It's like, if you ask 10 people who invest in crypto how to make money in crypto, you're gonna get 100 different answers. It really is insane how wide crypto is. So there's those challenges, and there's the social challenges. If you're in groups that don't understand or believe in crypto, they're going to think you're crazy. It's like, what are you doing? You're investing in crypto. What are you, nuts? Like, that is this, and I've heard this. It's all scams. It's all people ripping people off, and it's this. It's like, oh man, it is overwhelming, and it's very, very hard when you're new to crypto to get in, without having someone hold your hand or guide you. So, the reason I created, my 1 week program is exactly that. All my programs is because it's just so hard to get into crypto, and doing it on your own the way I did, it's hard. I made a ton of mistakes. I lost a fortune. It took chunks of my life dedicated to learning and understanding it. It was a process, to put it lightly, right? So yeah, I mean, there's so much working against you, and there's so little working for you. I'm the only person that I know of that runs any programs similar to mine on the face of the earth. I'm the only one in the world doing, a live program where I work with people, in a group, and I run a full-time Discord. I answer all their questions, and I hold their hand, and basically explain to them everything they need to know to be successful. I'm the only one doing it because I couldn't find me. I got so frustrated when I was learning how to do crypto. I went online trying to find someone to teach me, didn't have a human being out there. See, I'm a dentist, right? As a dentist, you have to understand, when I was practicing dentistry and I finished dental school and I said, hey, I want to get better on doing crowns, you just go online, you search crowns, and there's like 3 or 4, dentists who teach how to do crowns, and they're really, really good at them. You take their course, pay them the money, take their course, and you go back and you do a crown. Same thing with dentures, same thing with root canals. It's very, very simple in dentistry. If you want to learn something, you find out who's doing it well, you pay them, you take their course or their program, then you go back and you execute. And that's what I thought I would do in crypto. And when I couldn't do it, I was forced to do it all on my own, but I was like, this is ridiculous. Someone needs to offer it. And I said, well, if no one's doing it, I might as well. And, I did a lot of dental education, so I taught advanced dentistry in the later parts of my career. And I was like, well, if I can teach advanced dentistry, I think I can teach this stuff here. And it wasn't easy to create a program to, to encapsulate everything. It wasn't easy. I mean, I'm not saying it was easier teaching dentistry. Dentistry was meticulous and difficult, but I wouldn't say this thing was easy to do. It took me a lot of time to develop the right program that can work with a busy person to allow them to learn what they need to know in a very short amount of time and not waste their time on education on a bunch of things that aren't relevant for them to, maximize their investment in cryptocurrency.